sometimes you're going to get screwed, and then they're going to fire you like a dog in the street, and that's okay. If you spent time making sure you got value out of the place, that you got the thing you needed to achieve your end goal, then it was a fair trade. Don't be upset. That's business.
Well, I can't just jump around jobs. I mean,
Why
sure,
not?
I just feel like that's not a good way to start my career. I feel like it doesn't
Well,
look good to other
so-
employers.
In the day right before my day, so when I was in your chair, actually I'll say 3 or 4 years before me, because my generation, there's none of us, and we all had 12, 13, 14 job offers, because there weren't any of us. I turned all those jobs down and went to grad school, and when I got out, a year and a half later, they offered all those same jobs plus another 10 jobs, because there weren't any of us. But before me, if you didn't stay at a job 2 years, you were a job hopper and no one would ever hire you. They checked everything. Show up with your degree. Give me 27 references. All that bullshit, right? None of that happens anymore. Nobody cares. I have no idea if my guys actually have a degree or not. We'll find out when they go to get their PE and they have to show it, right? Can they do things? Can they accomplish stuff? The other part is we're in a different society nowadays. There are so fewer workers and there's so many more jobs. So for you guys, if you came to me in an interview and I'm like, first question would be, what happened at X? Like, you only been there 3 months. What the fuck are you quitting for? That's the actual question, but I'm going to ask it, hey, what happened at X? And if you were like, I got in there and I didn't feel like I was providing value, I didn't feel like there was a future for me, and I'm not going to be that sheep sitting at a job just collecting money, providing no value. I'm looking for somewhere where I can make an impact, and I've targeted your company because of what you said on YouTube about such and such, and I'm going to come in here and make you a shit ton of money. Do you think I give a shit that you quit your job 3 months ago? Probably not, right?
But in the back of your head, is there not a fear that they did the same thing with you and move past you in another 3 months because they felt like they weren't adding value?
You need to come in. So, a couple of tacks we can take on this, Max. There used to be a question that went around like, hey, what's your plan for this job? And I would always say, I'm coming to take your fucking job. Most of my bosses really like that because remember, that was a generational thing. Like, they wanted to see dudes coming in taking over, right? Nowadays, everybody'd be uncomfortable and you'd have to hold the pink elephant meeting and all that kind of stuff, right? Where was I heading with this? What was our topic, Max? Sorry. The pink elephant made me laugh. That just made a life story about that.
Well, we were just talking about how would it make you feel if they wanted to move on past 3 months?
Okay, yeah. You want to be so good that they can move on. You want to be so good that they never need you again. You want to be so impactful and so important that you ascend to the next level, right? You want to do your job so well and create the system for the next person that's going to do your job that it's a no-brainer to move you to the next spot, right? I wouldn't worry about any of that. The only thing you could control in your employment situation is how well you do your job and how much value you provide. And here's the thing. Sometimes you're going to get screwed. You're going to bust your ass and do everything you ever could, miss kids' birthdays, work overtime, not get paid, all that, and then they're going to fire you like a dog in the street. And that's okay. Because if you go back to the beginning of this conversation, if you spent time making sure you got value out of the place, that you got the thing you needed to achieve your end goal, then it was a fair trade. Don't be upset. That's business. Because one day, especially if you run your own business, you're going to have to let somebody go. One day, you're going to run out of money. It's happened to me. My business collapsed twice. Probably should have gone completely out of business. I built from 0 to 12 people and then literally had to let everybody go because we were out of money because I was stupid, right? It happens. That's business. It would be worse in some cases for that business to keep you and having to fire everyone next year instead of cutting 10% of you now. You've got to understand that it's business. And if you were so good, they wouldn't let you go. And you're like, wait, but they got rid of my whole division. Okay, well, obviously your division wasn't very good. Or maybe it didn't fit their business profile anymore. Or maybe now that's an opportunity that you can go start a business in its place. That happened with a good friend of mine. He went into a company and helped build them from about 50 million to 250 million. And then they brought in huge investors, Series A, B, C, all that kind of stuff, right? Private equity. Private equity came in and turned it into a profit machine and turned it into a shit show. They worked them like dogs, right? He gave everything he had and they dangled the stock options to make him jump like a little dancing monkey, right? And finally, I talked him into, dude, you've got to get out of there because your wife doesn't know who you are and your kid doesn't know who you are. And I put your kid on the bus every morning and you're home 30 days a year. It's killing you. And finally, he decided, you know what? I got to get out of here. I'm going to quit, even though I'm giving up a bunch of money, right? Interestingly, his best buddy the next day dropped dead from the stress. He now has waited out his non-compete and he's starting a new company and doing it the right way. He's going to rebuild that entire original company, but now without private equity, now with a better culture. He's going to take every customer that he ever used to have. He'll have a $300 million company within the next 2 years because he's going to come back and do it right. And what I'm getting at with all of this is there's value in everything that you do. There's value in these companies. There's things that you can find. And you need to not worry about, oh, well, wouldn't they just let me go? That might be a great opportunity. I actually started my business when I got laid off. I was moonlighting and I had just obtained this massive project. And I didn't have any employees. And I didn't have time to finish the project. And I went into work that day and I got called into the conference room. There was an HR guy and my boss who wouldn't look at me. And I sat down and they laid me off and they gave me a 5-month severance, meaning I got paid 5 months for doing nothing, right? So people in this company, they laid off 100 and something people, dudes that had worked there 35 years, given their whole life to the place. They're walking out crying like dogs. I'm high-fiving everybody I see. Hell yeah, baby. About to go start my company, baby. Yeah. And actually, I ended up hiring the guy I'm having lunch with tomorrow. I hired him from my old company, and he was my first employee, and off we went. That was 2006, and we've been kicking ass ever since. So some people look at that and go, well, they just fired you like a dog in the street. No, that was my first opportunity to get my business going. It was awesome.
But what if during that time period you realize that job you had set up, that you actually don't like it after the couple of years that you've matured in that final stages, and you're like, maybe actually I don't want to be in this position, and I just was kind of young and naive and set it up prematurely, and now here I am.
Now you get back to work and you find a better gig. And in the meantime, so let's say you need that job for survival. And a lot of people out there, let's say they've been out 3-4 years, maybe they got married and they were stupid, bought a house, bought a car, and did all the stupid things that people tell you to do, right? So now they have to work there, but they hate the job. Well, here's the thing. Now's the time to be better than you've ever been at that job. Now's the time to be so good they start promoting and giving you raises right before you fucking quit. Because you want to take that momentum into your next job and your next chapter of your career. Do not allow yourself to get weak and lazy just because you don't like the job, because that will affect you in the next chapter of your life. Anytime you're about to climb the next hill, you want a little momentum when you get to the bottom of it, right? You don't want to come from a dead stop or even worse, further back, right? Because you were lazy in your job because you didn't like it anymore. In reality, some experienced business owners like myself, if we see a guy suddenly perk back up, it's probably because he's looking for a job. If he's been a lazy fuck for the last year and hasn't really done what he's supposed to do, but maybe he hit his minimums and then suddenly he got better, I'll go have lunch with that guy. Hey, what's up? Like, what is it we're not providing you, right?
You're doing well.
Yeah, but there's a change, and there's points in your life, inflection points, where you make a change, right? For me, it was when I was working at Lockheed and realized how horrific it was, right? I had carried a pocket knife from the age of 5 years old until the day at Lockheed that I was looking up how to cut my wrist because I was done with that job. I was done with Atlanta. I didn't really want to live anymore. I went to bed like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and got up at 5 to go to work. And it hit me that morning, I got to make a change in my life. So I went and I got a sports car. I got a haircut. I signed up for judo. I took flying lessons. Like, I literally changed everything about where I went to eat, who I hung out with. And I started looking for another job. And I knew that was the inflection point that I needed to do something different in my life. And you're going to have a lot of those, right? But here's the thing. That last few months I worked at Lockheed, I got really fucking good. I finished my work and my assignment and my project and got commendations from people I still have not met. Didn't even know they were looking. Hey, this is the best stuff we've ever seen. Okay, cool. Here's my resignation. And I took that momentum into the new company and helped build their engineering department from 4 people to 12. And they went from, 300-400K a year to a couple million, right? Because I went in with momentum. I knew I needed to make a change, and I went in with momentum. So if you feel yourself stuck here, Max, if you don't like what you're going into, that's okay. Build a whole new plan to do it, but don't drop it, right? Get really good at it. Try it. Give it everything you got because it might actually turn out to be okay. So you took the job originally for a reason. And even Joe, hey, I really thought this was a great opportunity. Now he should go in there and give it everything he's got and see if it is the best opportunity ever. Because he might be missing something. Maybe he thinks the job is boring. Well, he could choose to make it not boring, right? Maybe he comes in and talks to his boss and goes, you know what, this is the most boring job ever, but I'm going to be the best you've ever had, and I'm going to help you make it not boring for the next guy, and then you're going to help me move over there. And what's his boss going to say? Fuck yeah, let's do it, right?
Hopefully. We'll see.
You never know. I mean, you guys are the future. You've got massive opportunity in front of you, and you need a voice of someone that's there for you and has seen it and done it and all those kind of things, and is not trying to like live through you or make you live the life they wanted, like your parents or your grandparents are going to try to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because I want you guys to make an impact and do important things. My directive is right here on the wall. I create people who create people. You know, that's what I do every day. So this is an opportunity for me to give you guys a chance to go help the next person.